Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have two Irish-blended whiskeys, and they're both bottled in Kentucky by the Sazerac Company. They're not produced by the Sazerac Company. They're produced for the Sazerac Company by Irish distillers of Cork, Ireland. Well, I'm not sure about Drumcastle. It says product of Ireland, blended by Master Distillers of Ireland. Well, that doesn't tell me anything. Elegant and smooth. It just says a blend of 100% Irish whiskey, mellowed in a combination of bourbon and wine wine oak barrels for 3 years. Sorry. So the Drumcastle is aged for 3 years in wine and oak barrels. Now, I don't know if they age it for like a year and a half in wine and bourbon barrels, I meant to say. If they age it like a year and a half in bourbon barrels, then they transfer it to wine barrels, or do they have some aging in wine barrel and some of it aging in bourbon barrels? Then they blend them at the end. They don't say. It's triple distilled. Well, actually, it doesn't say that. It says barrel-aged Irish whiskey. They all have to be barrel-aged. So that's a meaningless statement. They all have to be barrel-aged for 3 years. Well, it's sort of a mystery. Okay, Paddy's. Distillery founded in 1779. Yeah, Middleton. But that's the new distillery, actually. But the company goes back to 1779. A blend of grain whiskey, malt whiskey, and pot still whiskey. And it's showing the 4 regions of Ireland, all in gold. The old label used to have different colors for each region. And they're showing barley sprigs. And the old label used to be called Paddy, not Paddy's. It just said Paddy. Paddy Flaherty. Now, on the website, they say Paddy Flaherty, and later on, they say Paddy O'Flaherty. The man got 2 names, inspired by the man himself, who's got 2 names. Our Irish whiskey traces its roots back to 1779, but its true name did not come until much later, when a salesman by name of Patrick Flaherty was going around selling the product. These are both aged 3 years. Yep, Cork Distilleries Company Limited, Middleton, County Cork, Ireland. But it's imported and bottled in Louisville by Sazerac. They're probably both from the same distillery. I don't think there's that many distilleries in Ireland, okay? It's not that big of a country. Middleton, that's the big one. They make Jameson and all kind of products. If you look up the company, look it up, Irish Distillers, they list a lot of brands that they make. Not all the brands. They list all the brands they make for themselves, or many of them. And then they do a lot of contract like this, distilling like this. Okay. Price. Well, every day that goes by with the JB inflation, the price can rise. You know that. But Maxwell, good morning to you, Maxwell, in the Russian Federation. Foil cap. B Aviation. Good morning, Ron. Good morning to you. So we got a foil cap. Got to make sure I put them in the right bottles, right glasses. I mean, rubber. Oh, sorry. Whoa. This is a real cork, not rubberized and not particle board cork, pressed together, but a real chunk of cork. a real chunk o' cork from Cork, but actually from Kentucky, because this is bottled in Kentucky. The cork's probably from Portugal. Very pale gold. Paddy's. I was talking to a guy from Ireland just 2 days ago, from Northern Ireland, the British Dominion area there. And he was saying, British territory, he was saying, oh yeah, Paddy's one of the big ones over there. Everybody drinks it, it's well known. He said, but where he grew up, they mostly drank Bushmills because was close to where they lived. He said he didn't really drink whiskey, but his grandfather and uncles used to drink Bushmills. He found it was harsh. I found Bushmills is mild, but I don't think the guy's really a whiskey drinker. He was drinking Miller Lite, so that's fine too. But anyway, oh yeah, just like I thought. If you think they're the same whiskey just poured in different bottles, wrong. They're not. This is very light. The Drumcastle is very pale. It is about the palest whiskey. It's definitely the palest Irish whiskey I've had. That is okay. Before I forget, $19.99 for Paddy's. I think one store had it $18.99. I'm pretty sure I paid $19. And then Drumcastle was on sale at Albertsons for $14.99. It's still on sale for that price, $14.99. And Albertsons all the same chain. Albertsons, Vons, Jewel Osco, Amigos, Super Value. If you live close to one of those stores in that chain, and you can look on the website, they list all of their stores. They always run the same. It's like they got the same website with different titles on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it might say Albertsons or Jewel Osco, but the format of the website is identical. And then it'll always be the same things on sale. I mean, they might not be in stock, like they'll say not in stock, but that's not very accurate because they were saying they didn't have the O'Connery's Irish cream liqueur in stock. I went over there, they had like 36 bottles. Of course, it might have been restocked by the time I got over there. It might have been out of stock. Kind of unlikely that it could have been done that quickly, but it's possible. Have you ever tried Crown Royal Peach? It flies off the shelves here. It's popular here too. No, I've never tried any Crown Royal liqueur. Okay, so I got to mix these up because one is very pale and one is pale but not as pale. Now, what are they saying about Paddy's on their website? Now, Sazerac bought Paddy's, that brand and that recipe and the rights to Paddy's. And they use two names. I guess they're both trademarked because the website said Paddy Whiskey, Paddy. But then the bottle says Paddy's. So it's strange. Who did they buy it from? I don't remember. Sazerac, that's basically their business model. They just buy brands from other people that maybe that weren't doing as well as the people wanted. Like some of the big ones they bought was Southern Comfort. They paid $500 million for Southern Comfort. They bought Seagram's VO from Canada. That's a biggie, one of the biggies. So they paid a lot for that. I don't guess they paid too much. I guess Diageo said, well, you could have this other Scotch whiskey. We'll just throw that in for free because we don't want it. That and not Inverhouse, doggone Scoresby. Well, they might have said, well, you could just have that. But you're gonna pay for VO and VO Gold. And VO Gold was discontinued. Diageo had told me in an email, well, we're discontinuing it as of 2017. But I think Sazerac said, no, we're going to revitalize it because I see VO Gold everywhere. I don't think there was that much backstock. I can't believe it. I like how they say on this website, thrice distilled in County Cork, just as it's always been. There's a reason Paddy's whiskey has been making friends for nearly a quarter millennium, but not not actually Paddy's, the distillery. Nose, a complex interplay of nutty maltiness, woodland fragrances and spice with hints of honey and vanilla. Taste, light and crisp with distinctly light, nutty, malty, and charred wood character. Charred wood? The finish, they say, is a gently fading sweetness with mellow maltiness and mild woody notes. Awards. It won the Best Blended Irish Whiskey at the 2020 International Spirits Competition, a gold medal at the 2020 International Whiskey Competition, various others we are proud of, but will remain from going on and on about. Oh, those, you say, oh, those Irish. Yeah, oh, those Irish in New Orleans, like William Goldring of New Orleans, who owns Sazerac. I don't think he's Irish, William Goldring. A distinctive blend of triple distilled Irish whiskey. They're showing on the barrels. Then there's a bunch of violin playing, like James P. Madonna says. 3 classic Irish approaches to distillation into a single smooth libation. Sip slowly, and you can taste the gifts of each. The grain brings a light floral sweetness. The malt adds a note of toasty biscuit, and I've noticed that, but I say bread dough. While the pot still brings the traditional Irish creaminess. Do you detect all 3? Another sip may be in order, and another, and another, and another, and keep buying and keep buying. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, there's also a Paddy's honey flavored. It's a liqueur flavored honey. My friend Davis got a bottle. They don't put it on the website, but I've seen it around. Paddy, and then this is a this website shows a video of a guy pouring Paddy's. 3 types of oaken casks. What are the 3 types? They don't say. It's available in 50 milliliter, the little airplane bottles, 375s, the half size bottle, 750s, the full size bottle, 1 liter, the barroom bottles, and a 1.75, the big boy bottles. Then they're showing old newspaper reports and advertisements from years ago. And all the awards. Oh, there's all the awards in a list down below. As recently as 2021, last year, San Francisco World Spirits Competition, it won a gold medal last year. Bottle by Sazerac Company. Oh, and it says right here, Sazerac's slogan is, no, I buy you out. Huh. Look what it said. No, you don't buy me out. I buy you out. Huh. Well. 1913. But I can't say it was introduced in 1913. That's when they started Paddy in 1913. Patrick J. O'Flaherty. And then they're showing another video of people drinking in a bar. And that's enough of that. Okay, B Aviation says, does Sazerac make up their own products, or do they just buy companies and products? They mainly just buy companies and products. But they do make up their own, like Buffalo Trace, which they invented. Well, you know what I mean, developed in 1999. But most everything else they just bought. You might need to buy 100 bottles to get that note. Keep buying, laughing out loud, right? Just keep buying and trying and trying and buying and buying and trying and trying and buying and trying and buying. All right, here we go. Smell like vanilla. Now, I'm trying to think like, oh, well, I know the Drumcastle is aged in bourbon and wine barrels. What kind of wine? They don't say. But that threw me off because the last one I got wrong. So it's not helping me. This smelled like cereal grain and bread. They saying biscuit. I don't know if it smelled like a biscuit. But it could be because the biscuit is made from what? Grain. You said, well, flour. Yeah, where do you think flour's from? Okay, and yeast and all. So it just smells like that. like some kind of baking item. And so does this. And these glasses are clean. So the aroma, it's a wash. No difference. It's a nice aroma. You would never think it's Scotch. You would not drink this. You would not smell it and say, "Oh, what type of Scotch whiskey is this?" I don't believe you would. You just would say, "What type of Irish whiskey?" You say, you might think it's Canadian. You might. You might. But you probably wouldn't. But you might. Or Japanese. Some of these Japanese whiskeys be like this. No smoke but grain. I don't have a lot of experience with Japanese, but I had some good Japanese whiskeys. Oh, yes. The Tokai, the Hibiki Harmony. But we can't get the tortoise over here, the Suntory tortoise. That's the original one from 1920s. We don't sell it in the United States. That's like the Jack Daniels of Japan, you know what I mean? No, I mean, well, this tastes like very bread. This tastes like very bread. See, I can speak good English if you know what I mean. There's some oak barrel wood. Is it basic? It's basic. It's basic. It's basic. It's basic. Good basic, but basic. Yes. Some grain spirits here. You say, no, after 3 years, it's whiskey, grain whiskey. I know that. But it's still got that grain alcohol taste. Not wood alcohol. Oh, no. Grain alcohol. And oak. Oak. Is it bourbon barrel oak or wine barrel oak? My mind is saying that it's more of a wine barrel, but I'm not quite sure. Now, which one tastes better? Now, remember, if it's even, then Drumcastle wins, because then what? It's $5 cheaper on sale right now. Normally it's $2 cheaper, but and that's what's been happening with Drumcastle. Has it been standing out head and shoulders above the rest? Nah. Has it been getting killed, losing? No. Has it been pretty much indistinguishable from the rest? Yes. Which would mean it would win every time because it's cheaper. You want to pay more? Go ahead. But I'm not paying 50 cents more per bottle if I can't tell them apart. And like Carlo Rossi said, if you can't tell the difference, why pay the difference? And that was what he was saying with his wine, Carlo Rossi wines. He was saying, my wine, meaning Ernest and Julio Gallo's wine, but he made it look like he owned the company. But he said, my wine, and he might have been very involved in the development of each flavor because he had been, selling it for so long. But he was saying, it's cheaper than Almaden. It's cheaper than Ingle Nook, but it tastes the same. He didn't say it tastes better. If you watch the commercials, he never said his wine tastes better than them. He just said it tastes just like them. And he was saying, well, you can't tell the difference. So why pay the difference? He said, I like to talk about wine, but I'd rather drink it. So, and I'm saying that with this, you can't really tell the difference. You say, well, Paddy's, that's a famous brand. They got people all over the world know about Paddy's. Who ever heard of Drumcastle? No, not too many people, I guess. But there you go. So you say, oh, you're just a champion for these off brands. That's your whole raison d'etre. Your whole reason in life is just to trumpet and champion off brands. No, that's not true. That's a lie. or that's an inaccuracy or a misunderstanding. I have no goal to trumpet off brands at all. I have no drive to do it. On the other hand, I see a lot of them. And when we say off brands, that's a bad term to use because it makes it seem like the product's off or inferior in some way. A lot of times it's just independent companies that produce a product and they don't have the money to advertise it. So you don't hear of it. Or it could be just a brand that a company like Sazerac makes that just is just not well known. All right. You think every product Diageo makes is well known? They aren't. Some are obscure, relatively obscure, but they still got them, in their portfolio, and they might bring in a little money, but it's not worth to advertise for it. It's just put it out there. Like VAT 69 Gold. You see a lot of videos for VAT 69 Gold? No. Do you see a lot of VAT 69 Gold? No. You won't even see a website for VAT 69 Gold. Now, there's a website for VAT 69, which is popular in Africa, from what I understand, and it's an African-oriented website. And they talk about, well, you know what they're saying. Oh, it's so great. They're always going to say that. But the gold version, it's a different variation of it. It's like it doesn't exist. Like it has no existence, but it's around. So you could call that off-brand if you want. And they've got it over there at Acquista Pace. Oh, it's like $31 for a handle. Big old. I don't know if it's any good, but that's another example. You don't know until you try it, and people just overlook those. Like, that's probably they'll say that that's probably terrible. But how you know that? You haven't tried it. Now, have I tried some off brands that were kind of terrible? Yeah, like the Food Club sriracha sauce. I was like, something's weird about this. It is off, not spoiled or rancid or anything. Just no wonder nobody buys it, and it went out of date. But you don't have to worry about the date. I mean, that kind of stuff. I had olive oil I used that was like 7 years out of date when I started using it. No, 5 years. 5 years. It was fine, extra virgin. They're required by the U.S. government to put an expiration date. Although some of this stuff, it doesn't really expire. Beer, yes. Well, I've had so many stale beers and old beers. They tasted so bad. And one made me throw up, puke, vomit, whatever you want to say. It was so rancid. And my friend David, with his museum, he said, we could try some of these one day. I said, it's too late now. I mean, those things are all going to be old. They're going to taste like some old shoe. They're not going to be good. I don't even care. These are 8, 9, 10% alcohol, imperial stouts and all that. They're still not going to be good. They're way past their optimum time. And you're just holding on to them for like some kind of like hoarding mentality. The Black Albert, he's got that. I said, I'm never going to try. I know what it tastes like. I had it fresh. It was good. It was great. Awesome. But I don't, and I told him, I said, I'm not trying to drink your beers. I just hate to see, like, there's no sense to it, to see dozens and dozens of all these beers boxed up and just sitting there. And there's no point to it. But down whiskey, liquor is going to stay. It'll last. They're both kind of like the same. Like you do get grain spirits. You say it's brown vodka since it's blended whiskey. You got some of these people that's got this conniption mentality. No, these are not brown vodka. These are pale gold vodka. No. Anyway, I think that's the Drumcastle because I'm picking up some wine notes. Which one tastes better? Neither. Which one tastes worse? Neither. It's a tie, meaning what? Drumcastle wins because $5 cheaper at this time, at this present time. So, cheers to Drumcastle, an obscure brand that you know you'll never see an advertisement for. But yeah, there it is, quality product. So cheers to Drumcastle. But yet that's Paddy's. Okay, well, one good thing about this, I'm consistent. I keep getting it wrong every time. Which means that Drumcastle is just as good as all the rest. So far. Now, what's coming up next? Let's see. I went up against Jameson and Paddy and the other. What is coming up next? I can't remember. Let's see. Oh, Drumcastle versus Teeling, small batch. Well, it's going to lose this one. Now, it's not going to be a tie here. This is 92 proof. All right, 46% alcohol versus 40%. No, there's no chance. And it's finished in rum cast, non-chill filtered. No. In this case, there's no chance. Glen Ireland, yeah, that's a new distillery. Small batch. Yeah. So you say, yeah, but this one costs $38. You're talking about all these other $19 bottles. That's true. It's $38. But I got it for $14.99. I got it for $14.99. That's a true story. Okay. Crazy, right? But it's true. Mathern's had it, and I bought it, and my friend David bought it. Crazy, babies. Thoughts on Coors Light? I like it for a light beer. It's fine. Jerry Fort, the beer review guy, he did a beer review guy. He did a not blind taste challenge yesterday with Coors and Coors Light, and he preferred Coors because got more body, Coors Banquet. But he said the light was good for a light beer, and I agree with that. Jameson or Jack Daniels? Well, that's kind of like Jameson is Irish and Jack Daniels is bourbon. I rather Jameson because that bourbon's too much corn for me. I like corn, you see, but it's like drinking corn grits, like liquid corn. I'm not through with it. Is it good for making like a basting for that bourbon basted chicken like I was smelling next door that they were smoking? I never got to taste any, but oh yeah, Jack Daniels is fine. If I had another bottle and I had to do taste challenges, it wouldn't bother me, but I wouldn't be reaching for it. No. Would I be reaching for Jameson? It's kind of bland, but I would rather it. Okay, thanks for watching this video production. And for Wednesday, tomorrow, meaning today, because tomorrow I got to do the examination. We're doing Old English 800. We're going to do Teeling, Killing, Drumcastle. So if you want to watch that later this morning, you want to watch Teeling, Destroy Drumcastle, join up because it will be a massacre. Thanks for watching this video production.